We are live, ladies and gentlemen. It's the Rob Black Show, coming to you from high atop the Star fucking Gardens. Let me shut the shade because I know it gives a little a glare on the YouTube camera. We don't want that because hold on. Because we actually use, I have a whole little system, that's good. I have a whole system that we do when it comes to, hold on. To the show and what we're, and how we record them. We have 3 different recorders going. One for YouTube, one for the Roku feed, and one for our feed and Adult FYI feed. I know, we have 3 goddamn feeds. It makes no sense. But until we're big enough that we're on a network that will satisfy all of these different mediums, then we wouldn't have to do this. Till then, we are doing what we do. So, with that being said, the YouTube feed is not as good as the Rob Black Show feed and Adult FYI feed, meaning it's a free service. The bandwidth and recording and yada 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 isn't as crystal clear as the Adult FYI, the Rob Black Show feed. So what we do is take that YouTube feed, and as soon as the show is done, we lift off the codes and put them right into the websites so people can instantly watch the show as soon as we're done. So if you miss the show at any point during the afternoon, instantly you could throw the show on within, I'd say I get the day show up within an hour to 2 hours. We get off at 3 and this show is up on the websites within an hour, probably by 4:30 maybe. And then you could watch the Rob Black Show, I would say the replay. And then at night, we do the same thing. About 11 o'clock, the evening show goes up. And then what we do with the crystal clear feed from Adult FYI, the Rob Black Show feed from our streaming service that we pay for, that is what we cut up the individual kind of show bits from and into. So instead of getting a 3+ hour show, 6-hour show, when you see the graphics that are made and the videos have you know, a picture on it of Abdullah the Butcher or a picture of Steve Hirsch or something in that nature, that is the cast feed. That's our really crystal clear feed that we just individually cut up. When the show gets done, Tom Byron and his old balls take the show and he cuts it up per segment with the commercial breaks, and then he puts slugs in between them, which are intros to the show. And now we're putting together these little commercials that have Katie Summers advertising anything from the Rob Black Show book to her own her own streaming, you know, her streaming service or her webcamming shit, to selling her fucking posters, whatever the fuck it is. And that is what goes on to YouTube and gets sent out to the masses, which is kind of cool. That's something that we're doing for anybody that's friends with the Rob Black Show. We make these commercials, or they can make them, and I put them in the beginning of each show bit. So, as an example, if you look on our YouTube page, just as an example, and take a look at the Machine Gun Kelly bit we did, I think that is up to maybe 13 or 1400 views, I think. And I'll go there right now and take a look. Just you know me, I don't like to. I like to get within the range. I like to get within the goddamn range of what the fuck we're talking about. So I think when it was done, I think it's at 13 or 1400. Let me see. That's a fucking awesome fucking song. That's off the not Death Magnetic, but it's beyond Death Magnetic. So that's the album that they put out. That was after Death Magnetic, meaning it was like all the leftovers that didn't make the first Death Magnetic, but it's got fucking some goddamn gems on it. So, anyways, example. Where's the goddamn thing? Got so many videos on here now. 1,329. So, example, if we have a video of advertising your dirty dildos that you're selling, or you're selling your crusty underwear, I don't know, whatever it is, I would put that in the beginning of a video. And so now when all 1,300 people click on that Machine Gun Kelly video, in the beginning they see whatever person is promoting whatever products they have. So that's what we do with those videos that we go off the decast. It's the same thing with views on the porn. Who was lost the best porn actress thing, or best new starlet, that goofy thing. I think that thing's got 1,500 views. That thing's got 1,500 views. So again, same thing. That would be somebody on the intro. So that's basically why we have those feeds. And then the Roku feed is completely different, because the Roku is a different service altogether, and it's a different coding, and that has to run off of its own server. It's a fucking nightmare. That's basically what it is, for Christ's sakes. It's a fucking nightmare. But hey, it's getting the word out to the masses, and people are reading and watching this stuff. And if you go right now to adultfyi.com, therobblackshow.com, there's all sorts of new videos up from Alex Jones needs to sell Patriot blend Smart Piss, to Wolf of Wall Street, My Theater Piss, to Katie Summers and Jessica Drake, the new Odd Couple. So it's all there, goddamn. It's all there. Anyways, there's our breakdown of how the fuck we do this goddamn show. I put up a new wrestling video called Abdul the Butcher and XPW. It's quite amusing. It's a little story about Abby from our XPW days, and how fucking crazy it was when we had them, and funny little stories. So check it out, man. Good, it's good times. And I'll tell you, it's funny. I think I got a little schedule going. Last night, we put together a new system of how I was going to update the sites and so forth and so on. And believe it or not, it actually worked. We talked about this yesterday, and I'm proud to announce that I got out of here last night at about 12:10. About 12:10, I got out of here. And at about 12:10, I got home, and well, I didn't get home. I went to Katie Summers' house, and she just sent me an email and said, "I look delicious. Thank you very much, my love." She said, "I look very handsome today." Remember I told you, she says that to me. That's the everyday process. She tells me I look handsome, tells me I look good depending on what clothes I wear. I'm telling you. Depending on how, never know how long it will last, but as long as it lasts, it's pretty fucking good. It's pretty good. Pretty fucking good. So, she's telling me all sorts of nice things. So we go to the house last night about 12:15, and I made the scheduled workout. So we hit the gym at about 12:25 and worked out until about 1:30. We watched Seth Meyers' program that had Kanye West, which I might add is pretty fucking bizarre. Not the Seth Meyers late night show, but Kanye West. I've never really heard him in an interview where he wasn't like screaming about somebody. I've never actually heard him sit down and have a conversation, but I'll tell you, man, he's fucking out there. He's just so, it's almost like he's got visions of grandeur. And to hear him explain music and his performances and how he writes and creates, it's pretty fucking bizarre. It really is. It's almost like he's Nelson Mandela of rap music, and it's fucking very bizarre. Anyways, worked out. I feel good. I still feel fat. I feel the love handles on the side, but nonetheless, went to bed and woke up, and I feel pretty good. I feel really good, and the site was updated with tons of content, both sites. So it was good. It was very positive. Yesterday, listen, remember we talked about this, you guys. Remember we talked about this, and I'm going to say it again. Last week we had a really good week, and the week before we had a good week, and we were talking about manic depressive. And we actually went online and looked it up, and we decided that we weren't manic depressive because that's the old term for really being bipolar. And we read all the symptoms of having bipolar, and we didn't fit them. We felt and fit into some of the categories, and what we got out of it was basically it was just the fact that life sometimes sucks balls, and you get in that car and you're driving the life path and you just hit a lot of fucking bumpy roads. So we dispelled the notion of bipolarism and being manic depressive with just having pretty good weeks. Even though the weeks have pretty much been the same, nothing really has changed in the world of the Rob Black Show, meaning we're not on CNBC. We're not on MSNBC. We're not on any radio station that significantly will pay us hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. And we're still pumping along on the old Star Gardens. But it does feel different. I feel that every I would say month we hit some corner, and it's kind of like turning, and we embark on a new person that enters our life. And what I mean by that, whether it's an agent, whether it's a promoter, whether it's a quasi TV executive, but we wind up getting in the midst of a new person that hears the show and decides that they're going to throw their 2 cents in by passing the word along of us to somebody they know. And that, to me, makes us inch a little bit closer to our ultimate goal, which is really, and when I say national, what I mean by that is that I've explained before, having a program that doesn't consist of 4 different cameras. It doesn't consist of being on top of a grungy strip club. And it doesn't consist of having to make movies out of our extensive porn library and hustle traffic and do clip for sale stores and make you know, tease videos and so forth and so on. Ultimately, the goal was never to stay shooting pornography for the rest of my life. It was absolutely never the goal. Porn was always just a vehicle to get where we had to go. And it was never about, oh, I'm going to be this filmmaker. I'm going to be this this Hollywood filmmaker. There's this thing about Hollywood, and once you've made a successful run in the porn business, you can kiss any chances you have of being in Hollywood goodbye. The only people that make it in Hollywood from the porn business are people that had a very unsuccessful porn run and or quiet porn run, meaning you're not going to be a superstar porn director like Axel Braun or a Brad Armstrong, and then all of a sudden get hired by Paramount Studios to make the new, you know, Jeremy Renner movie. It doesn't happen. You get into Hollywood because you're under the radar, and you happen to be in porn for about a year doing lighting or doing production assistant, and you manage to meet somebody that knows somebody that now gets you in the inside of helping writing scripts, and before you know it, you're working in Hollywood at a level that is acceptable to Hollywood to embrace the fact that you're a filthy porn star, or were a filthy porn star, or a filthy porn worker. But ask Greg Dark, legendary porn director. He was in Hollywood for a while, and right now he's getting his doctorate degree in psychology and being a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And if you ask him, well, Greg, for a while you were working in Hollywood, and he will give you an answer on why he quit that really doesn't make any goddamn sense, except for almost not wanting to deal with the fact of never getting higher than really low budget B movies. And once that dried up, there was nothing left. So the fact of us ever getting anywhere where all of a sudden we're going to be making Hollywood movies is a far-fetched dream. Ask Bryn Pryor, aka Eli Cross, how that goal is working. The last I heard, they were the big Hollywood film guys making a steampunk movie that I haven't heard about in 2 years, in a year and a half. And it had James Dean, who was supposed to be the next big Hollywood actor from porn that, again, made one shitty movie with Lindsay Lohan because the writer-director guy wanted to suck his cock. That movie failed miserably, and after he had his 15 minutes of fame, he's back doing fucking, you know, fucking kink.com videos and beating the shit out of girls for Evil Angel. So, you know, it just doesn't happen. You have to create a different path if you want to hit mainstream, and if your only talent you have is being a fuck toy or picking up a camera and shooting fuck movies for people like Rob Black and Axel Braun, this is what you're going to be doing for the rest of your fucking life. Me, I was the personality. I was the person that created. I was the person that had the ideas. I was the personality. I was the person that talked. I was the person that could get in front of a camera without using my dick and entertain people. So I always knew and always had the goal that I could put together a half-hour routine and go run around the stand-up comedy tour and go perform at Yuck Yucks, for Christ's sakes, and live the life of a stand-up comedian. I always knew I could do these things, but ultimately the goal is to take this program, whether it's on a national basis with a real production company / network, CNBC, MSNBC, Adult Swim, Comedy Central, HBO, or just getting to a point where we're on a streaming service like a wacko Alex Jones or a Glenn Beck that is infused with real money, and we're able to solely dedicate what we're doing to the show, and we have the manpower and resources to focus on a direct-to-consumer vehicle. So we'll see. We've got a lot of ideas of what I want to take this show and put this show together. A lot of skits, a lot of routines. If we get some additional help here, I've got ideas to have a roving reporter running around the streets with the sight and sounds. We have the capability to do a lot of live feeds here to beam them in. It's just the manpower. So we'll see what happens. And these are the positive things. Again, I at times look at a glass that's half empty, and Katie Summers likes to tell me that the glass is overfilling. So I have been leaning more towards the Katie Summers philosophy and saying the glass is overfilling. So last night was a good workout, and we got a lot of shit done, and I made a couple calls as far as the XPW world goes, and I think we're on to, I'm not quite sure how XPW is going to unfold and the rebirth of XPW, exactly what it's going to entail, but it's definitely on the move, and we have a lot of cool things that will be coming down the pipeline that involve XPW and what we're going to do. And even if it's just something as basic as a nostalgic trip. Even if it's something as basic as that, it's something that definitely is going to be back and will be, in the public eye. So exciting. These are the updates of the show, and I always give you guys these little updates before. Not all the time, but I do like to give you guys little updates. So, it's the Rob Black Show. We're going to jump into some news of the day. Actually, I've been getting emailed from people when I said the other day about help. And I've gotten a couple emails from some of the people that are regulars of the Rob Black Show, and I appreciate you guys for heeding the call of arms, so to speak. And I appreciate you guys emailing me and saying, hey, I can do this, I can do that. And I appreciate that very much. That actually does mean a lot. And those of you that I called upon and you responded back to me and said that you could help, that means a lot to me also. And I don't want you guys to ever forget, as lame as it sounds, those who have been with us and stick with me through the long ride always get rewarded at the end. It's the ones that fuck me over that I fucking shove a baseball bat up their ass. It's those motherfuckers. Now, I'm that motherfucker that if you cross me once, I will fuck you until the day you fucking can't get fucked anymore. I'm literally one of those people that you fuck me once. If I ever get the opportunity to fuck you, I will fuck you hard. Hard, I'll fuck you. I will. But if you and my fucking will be 10 times worse. I'm telling you, I'm the person that if you fucking slap me in the face, I will fucking hit you back with a brick. That will make Reginald Dennehy getting hit in the head with a brick during the LA riots look like a pillow fight. That's how fucking brutal I am. But you stay with me through thick and thin. I will always put my arms around you and sing the Titanic theme song while we stand out on the edge of the ship. Always, to the end of time. Sometimes to a fault. Sometimes to a fault. But I appreciate everybody. And I will throw this out. Anybody that hits me up and says I can help, and you're cryptic with who you are, it's very hard for me to get involved with that when you say, hey Rob, I'm a fan and I've listened to your show and I can help you guys, and I've often hung out with Tom Byron in the past, and yeah, hit me back. And you don't have a name that I've ever heard of or Tom Byron's ever heard of, and it's a fake name. I get that. I don't know. Actually, I don't get. If you're going to reach out and say you would like to help and be part of the show, and you know one of us, you need to at least say who the fuck you are, and that way I can get references. I just don't get strangers off the street because they say they have hung out with one of us before. If you say that you know Tom Byron, then I need to know who the fuck you are so I can go, hey Byron, do you know this person? And then Tom Byron can say, oh yeah, that person is a whack job loser, or that person is a cool dude, did he hit you? So it makes no sense to call with cryptic emails of saying you want to help, but none of us know who the fuck you are. And it's retarded. And I guess that just shows you what the fuck the business is. If I was trying to hit me up, I'd say, yo, Rob, my name is Rob Black. How are you? I've been in the business for 20 years. You might not have heard about me, but Tom Byron knows who I am. I'd love to help you guys. You guys are really cool. Blah, 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 blah. Hit me back. Blah, blah, blah. Don't just fucking hit me with anonymous fucking posts. It's just retarded. Really is retarded. And I'm not one of those people that respond. That's why I'm not a good gossip blogger. That's why that's never what we've been about. When I get hit every day with people, here's a story for you, and then they give me information, and I go, what the fuck you want me to do with that? Well, can you post it? Get the fuck out of here. First off, I don't care. Secondly, I don't care. Thirdly, if I don't know who you are, I really don't fucking care. Again, I'm very picky with who I involve myself with. As weird as that sounds, and some of you go, really, Rob? Some of the people that you've been associated with aren't, well, when I say picky, I'm not talking about picky meaning they have to have the utmost greatest credentials. I'm saying picky when it comes to who I want. They could be the biggest low-life piece of shit in the world, but if I like them, I'll fucking work with them. It's kind of like a football coach and the owners when they go through the drafts and a player falls way back in the draft because they failed a drug test in college or at the combine. Or you hear that they were sucking dick in a fucking parking lot and they're a fag or whatever the fuck it is. I judge it based on my individual needs and how I interact with that person and what they can bring to the Rob Black Show or the team. So I'm picky with what I associate with. I have an interview. I get into the heart of that person, and I like to know exactly what makes them tick, what's their aspirations, what's their goals. If they've been in our business for 10, 20 years and they haven't progressed anywhere further than what they're doing now, I'd like to know why. I like to know why, bro, or why, girl. Why are you a 50-year-old woman still getting fucked up your ass? Why have you not progressed out of this world life of being an active fucking hooker? Like, what's up? What's the fucking problem? Why do you live in a fucking tiny little apartment and barely make ends meet and you're fucking a 50-year-old hooker? What is up? So, when you hit us up, please give me every piece of information of who you are. I'm not going to talk about you on the air. Again, very rarely do I just come out and just start talking about people on the air for the sake of it. Again, there's got to be a reason for why I'm talking about you. There has to be a reason of why I'm engaging in any type of conversation about you. Some of you people are so delusional that you think every piece of news or every piece of fabric of life is something that I want to fucking engage and talk about. Absolutely not. Sometimes the craziest shit can happen in this business, and I just don't fucking care. Seriously. Sometimes stuff that happens in this business that I will hear about, it's like I don't fucking care. I really don't. And as crazy as that sounds, it's exactly the truth. There's elements that happen in our business, and I don't fucking care. And I'll get hit by different people in our industry and friends, even friends of the show that will hit me with a story and say, you should talk about this. And it's like, why? I don't fucking care. I just don't care. And I don't give a shit. And it's fucking boring to me. It's fucking lame. It has no bearing on what I fucking give two fucks about. So, it is what it is. Anyways, there's our opening monologue. There's our opening dialogue. That is the Rob Black Show. We're going to take a break for about 2 minutes, and we'll be right back with some trending news. It's trending news. Just some stuff that we haven't gotten to in a couple days because we've been sidetracked with a bunch of other crap. So I wanted to get to a couple trending news and things that kind of interested me when it came to the world and current events. So we'll be back in about 1 minute and 52 seconds. Is it coming on or no? Well, goddamn. Well, goddamn. Oh, that's silly. Why is that? I'm sitting here looking at my board. Okay, I see why. I'm fucking retarded. All right. We'll be back in 1 minute and maybe even be less. Anyways, here. We're back, ladies and gentlemen. Rob Black Show, coming to you live. Here's a current event that I found. Last night we were talking about the UFC fights over the weekend and the amount of money that the talent was paid, which I found incredibly disturbing. And when we started talking about it, I didn't mean to kind of get going to a whole UFC fucking. I didn't mean to get into a whole UFC, professional wrestling, yada yada. So apologize for to all the fans last night. But there's two interesting little issues that are coming up in the political realm. One involving Arizona, and it kind of has gone under the radar for many people when it comes to gay rights and discrimination. And there's this growing push in some of these more conservative areas that have conservative legislatures, and it's amazing. And again, I want to stress how religion is something that is destroying this country. And when you're talking about people coming up with laws or proposing laws that let religious institutions and companies that can claim religion as a means of them to discriminate. It is quite amazing that people don't see what the real root of all evil is. Now, when I talk about religion, people who are friends of the show and or friends of mine who are religious get a little agitated. Now, I would call on them to remember that a part of what this country was founded on, and most people can sit here and whether you're on one side or the other, look to the Bible and look in history and claim that it's not a separation of church and state, or it is a separation of church and state. But let's face it, we here in the United States of America have what is known as separation of church and state. Now, we're not talking about when the settlers came to America. We're not talking about in the biblical times. We're talking about today. Let's live in today. And when you talk about today, you are talking about the United States of America that has a ton of different religion and religious factors. And you have a great amount of people that call themselves different denominations, rather it's Protestant, rather it's Jewish, rather it's Muslim, rather it's Mormon, you name it. And when you have that many people that are believing in that many different gods, for one person to proclaim that another person's God is the real God and their God is a fake God is pretty preposterous. And if we're going to create a set of laws based on that theory, that is where this country breaks down. And it's not about the blacks. It's not about the Mexicans. It's not about the poor. It's not about the rich. All of these elements that different people and different legislators, whether it's your Republican nut jobs in Texas or your social commentators like Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, or your celebrity whack jobs like Ted Nugent. Everybody has a scapegoat, and everybody uses one group to pit against another. And those are not the problems with society. Yelling about blacks and yelling about Mexicans and yelling about people with guns and yelling about all of these issues that we hear, rather they're coded words or rather they're just flat out straight up racism. Ultimately, every one of those things are not anywhere near the power of what true hate is and what it rears its ugly head in doing when the words are spoken. When somebody says, build a fucking fence and keep all the Mexicans out. Okay, great. You know, these are all debatable arguments. You could actually debate the validity of building a wall and keeping Mexicans out and or giving people a safe passage of citizenship. These are all things that you could actually debate. But the thing you can't debate is religion. The thing you can't debate is a little invisible man in the sky that one person or one group will actually say, my invisible man in the sky is all-knowing and all right, and he says I can hate you because of who you are. There's no debating that with that person. You can't actually pull out statistical data like you can when it comes to Mexicans and immigration and sit there and say, well, let me show you something, and write down on a piece of paper how many illegals are here and what their job force and paying into the system would mean. And you can't, when it comes to religion, you can't debate somebody saying that invisible man. And you're like, where? And there's that guy right up there. Okay. He says, I hate fags. So in turn, my business here, if I see a guy come in and he's humming show tunes and he wants me to take pictures of his wedding, I can say, fuck you, fag. How do you debate somebody with that? How do you say to him, well, you know, the only thing you can say is, that's not very nice. That's, well, hey, my God says I can hate fags. Okay. So when you're creating policy based on the concepts that invisible people, and I might add, these invisible people all vary. Because remember, the invisible man that Christians believe in or Catholics believe in is a different invisible man than Jews believe in. And the Muslims believe in a different invisible man. So do you realize that you have three groups of people that all believe in an invisible man, and all three of those people believe their invisible man is the right invisible man? It's kind of like a Superman when he's in the what is it, the box with in the ice house thing with the Zod and the three evil people that are trying to kill Superman, and they take away his powers, and Superman is standing there like this, and there's like, Superman, 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 Superman. and they go, "Who's the real Superman?" And they kick, whoo, and they fall. Superman goes, It's the same fucking thing. You've got all these different gods, and everybody goes, "Nope, that's the real God. That's the all-knowing God." And then everybody goes over to him, and the guy goes, "Nah, sorry, it's that one over there." And we haven't even touched on Scientologists. We never even touched on Ron L. Hubbard. What about Mormons? Joseph Smith. We haven't even touched on the Magic Underpants guy. All of these things are religions that millions of people follow. And those millions of people believe that that invisible man is the all-knowing invisible man. Just that alone should give people in America a moment to just pause and take a break and a deep breath and go, okay, we definitely got to get religion out of our political world. We have to not absolutely create laws based on somebody's religious freedom, because that is the new out that is now happening when it comes to gay rights. And listen, it doesn't stop with gay rights, because you can find anywhere in any of these Bibles where they condone, or when they condemn certain groups. The Bible condemns blacks. The Bible preaches slavery, and you can talk to certain white supremacists that will literally open up that Bible and find passages where it is talking about blacks being not worthy of being a basically human. So I shit you not. You literally can look in passages of the Bible and find where they reference that having slaves, black people as slaves. They reference all this stuff. And depending on what slant you want to take, all of these religions, they can have you hate a certain group of people. Shit. Some of these goddamn religions can make you hate eating fish, eating lobsters, pork. The fuck, a pig, a pork. And now this slippery slope that we've kind of put ourselves in is pretty amazing in the sense of this. Is the sense of this. We now have created a system to where we say, okay, the federal government can't discriminate and tell people that they can't marry, and that's against the Constitution, and it's against pursuit of happiness, and yada yada yada. But now what they've been able to maneuver is this religious right has been able to now say, well, if you're going to say that, we have a right of respecting our religion. And we have a right to practice our religion. And if our religion says that it is against our founding God that we have to deal with fags, or we have to deal with blacks, or we have to deal with pigs, or we got to deal with lobsters, that, hey, we are allowed to do that. And now the federal government is falling into these areas where people are going, yeah, that's right, that's right. Because if you're going to say that the government can't discriminate against homosexuals, then the government can't discriminate against the invisible man in the sky. So now what's happening is you're getting states that are controlled by Republican legislatures or Republican governors, and they are now trying to ram through these legislations that protect hate based on religion. And remember, you guys, religion is really just the foundation of hate. Yes, for as much wording that is in the books of religious leaders that talk about love thy neighbor, love everybody, there's also tons of pages that say, guess what? Hate thy neighbor if they are not like you and part of this religious sect. For every good word that a Bible preaches, there's 2 times as much hate that the Bible preaches. The religion organizations have been responsible for more murders during inquisitions, during Roman time, you name the amount of death and destruction that has been done in the name of religion. It outnumbers the Iraq War. It outnumbers the Gulf War. It outnumbers the World Trade Center terrorist attack. And it was all based on I am one religious order, you are not, and now I'm going to kill you because you don't believe what I believe. And that is scary. And that is now what we've digressed into. So in Arizona, the governor, Jan Brewer, is holding a meeting over a bill that is coming across her desk that the Republican legislatures have put together, and they want her to sign. And let me explain. So, Wednesday, with opponents and proponents of legislation adding protections for people who assert their religious beliefs in refusing service to gays. A proposal that has focused national attention on the state as business groups, gay rights supporters, and even many fellow Republicans urge her to use her veto power. The governor faces a Saturday deadline to either sign Senate Bill 1062 or use her veto stamp. In a tweet from her official Twitter account late Tuesday, the governor said, "I assure you, as always, I will do the right thing for the state of Arizona." Brewer has been under increasing pressure to veto the proposal passed by the Republican-controlled legislature. The proposal passed with support from all but 3 House Republicans and all 17 GOP state senators. 3 of those senators, however, reversed course Monday and called the governor to veto the SB 1062. We are uncomfortable with it to start with and went along with it thinking it was good for the caucus, said Senator Steve Pierce, Republican Prescott. We really didn't want to vote for it, but we made a mistake, and now we're trying to do what's right and correct it. This letter to Brewer, however, said the proposal had fallen victim to bad shit. Through their intent, they wrote, was to create a shield for all citizens' religious liberties. The bill has been mischaracterized by its opponents as a sword for religious intolerance. Democrats said they warned Republicans who voted for the bill that it was destined for trouble. We said this is exactly what's going to happen, said Senator Steve Gallardo, Democrat Phoenix. You have a bill here that's so toxic it's going to divide this legislature. It's going to be polarizing the entire state. That's exactly what happened. The bill allows any business, church, or person to cite the law as a defense in any action brought by the government or individual claiming discrimination. Supporters call the bill a slight tweak to the state's existing religious freedom law, which does not protect protections to people based on sexual orientation. The state senators, Senator Steve Yarborough, defended the proposal and said his efforts were intended to extend the state's religious freedom laws reach to corporations that allow those sued for discrimination to cite the law even when the government isn't a party. He said a veto would be disappointing. I don't think it's a good thing for the state in the sense that I believe the First Amendment means what it says about the free exercise of religion. It's the first freedom in the First Amendment. It's there for a reason, Yarborough said Tuesday, and I think we need to take steps to implement that in a meaningful fashion. Lawyers from across the political spectrum say much of the opponents' arguments that the bill opens the door to discrimination are overblown, but it has not eased the pressure on Brewer to act decisively. The bill was pushed by the Center for Arizona Policy, a social conservative group that opposes abortion and gay marriage. The group says the proposal simply clarifies existing state law and is needed to protect against increasingly activist federal courts. What's happened is our opponents have employed a new political tactic, and it's working, said Kathy Hurley, the group's president. Throw the threat of a boycott to attempt to defeat a bill, and you might just be able to be successful. While the business community lining up against the proposal, Brewer could be hard-pressed to sign 1062. She has worked hard to return Arizona's economy to pre-recession levels with business-friendly incentives and tax cuts. Meanwhile, the bill has brought increasing talk of economic damage to the state, and on Wednesday, the Hispanic National Bar Association said it was canceling its 2015 convention in Phoenix because of the proposal becoming one of the first groups to pull an event from the state. There you go. And ladies and gentlemen, what did I tell you guys about a week ago? I told you all that as citizens, what we have to do when it comes to places like Arizona, when it comes to places like Missouri, is basically get the fuck out of the state. And I'm glad that Miguel Pozo is listening to me. And basically, when you get out of these states that are practicing hate, you hurt them financially. And that goes for people that live there. And ultimately, when you have states that rely on hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people's tax revenue and their incomes and their work, rather it's working in the factories or working in their supermarkets, and you pull out, you are going to see people turn their, what would you say, turn their opinions into a different form. Just like pulling out this convention, you lose thousands of people that would come to Arizona and to put money in the pockets of people in Arizona. So ultimately, what is going to happen is you're going to see more and more people doing exactly what I've been preaching, which is don't go to these states. Boycott these states. It works. Trust me, it works. If you people could really look inside the financial books of these conventions and see what it means to the local economies, from the Super Bowl going into New York to a gun show that goes into Las Vegas. They generate millions of dollars of revenue. And when you tell the governor, hey, you don't like gays? Well, we don't like you. And we're not even going to have our convention there. Because there's a lot of other states near you that would be more than welcoming to have us there and would support our pulling out of your state as a stance of boycotting what you as a legislature, you as a governor, you as the inner workings of Arizona are preaching, which is hate. So, let's see here. Among the business urging a veto are Apple, which is opening manufacturing plant in Mesa, American Airlines, Marriott, and GoDaddy, Arizona U.S. State Senator John McCain and Jeff Flake, and former GOP president candidate Mitt Romney are also calling for a veto. So, Arizona, you want to lose Apple? You want to lose Apple? Is that what you want to do? As Brewer held meetings Wednesday, a federal judge declared Texas ban on gay marriage unconstitutional, but he left in place until an appeals court could rule on the case. Judge Orlando Garcia used a preliminary injunction after two gay couples challenged the state constitutional amendment and long-standing law. He said the couples are likely to win their case and the ban should be lifted, but said he would give the state time to appeal to the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals before to do so. The ruling in Texas follows a string of rulings that have struck down gay marriage bans in Utah, Oklahoma, and Virginia. In Utah, attorneys for three gay and lesbian couples filed their opening brief late Tuesday with the federal appeals court saying the state's same-sex marriage ban has cemented discrimination in the state against gays and their children. The 118-page argument comes in response to the opening brief filed earlier this month by Utah state attorneys who argued that 2004 voter-approved ban should stand because of the optimal environment for raising children as a mother and father. So, there you go. And Arizona, I suggest that you smarten the fuck up. Now, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't know, this governor, Jan Brewer, is the same governor that when President Obama got off an airplane and dealt with her years ago, she put her little finger in his face and chastised the president about I don't even remember exactly what it was, but it was a famous picture of her waving her finger in the president's face and basically talking to him like he was some kind of fucking criminal. And she got a lot of flack for that. And if the president wasn't the president, he would have bitch slapped her and actually pimp slapped her as an old troll. And if you guys take a look at yahoo.com and take a look at what this little troll looks like, it just gives you a sense of some old fucking grandma that is just a real piece of shit. And so this, again, is an issue that is just amazing to me. Again, what the religious crazies are trying to create is more hatred, really, for religion. And when I say that, if practicing religion didn't draw enough heat in this country and creating these wedge issues from abortion to gay marriage, they are now creating an opportunity for the state of Arizona to get hit financially. Because I'll tell you this, you guys in Arizona lose Apple from building a plant there. You want to talk about watching the economic prosperity of Arizona go right down the shithole? It'll go right back to where it was years and years and years ago. So that was an issue that I felt really strong about that I wanted to talk to you guys. And like I said, it was deeper than just a bill that would give religion a, a legal barrier to practice hate, but it was more also about religion as a whole. And when I say whole, again, this concept of whose religion is better and why that religion is better, and who says the religion is better, who says that these people are better, who says that this God is better. Again, from being a Mormon to being a Muslim to being a Scientologist. Remember, everybody, as much as you want to make fun of Scientology, being a Scientologist and the practicing of Scientology is still considered a religion. Now, I know a lot of you people mock it that are Jesus lovers, and you go, that's silly. But I've never been able to get anybody that is a practicing Catholic or a practicing Jew to give me rational reasons of why Scientology is not religion, why their practicing faith is wrong. Why is it, again, that Judaism is seemingly the be-all, end-all of all religion, and that is founded and based on part of an invisible man telling a group of people that this one area in the Middle East is all of theirs, and eventually the world's going to end, and all of those people that are in that area that are from that area are the only ones that are going to get into this great kingdom in the invisible sky, and they will love and be happy forever and ever and ever. Now, if that doesn't sound fucking retarded, then I gotta say that L. Ron Hubbard and spaceships and John Travolta are no different than the Invisible Man giving land. I mean, let's face it. It kind of rolls with every stereotype you could possibly hear about my Jewish friends, but let's face it, their entire religion is based on this little Middle Eastern dude arguing over land. I mean, you can't get any more crazy than that. If you think about the whole concept of Judaism and the whole concept of what's going on in the Middle East, it's all about land. It's about property. The Jews are fighting for property. Like, they're fighting for stuff. They're fighting for property. They're fighting for land. Fucking, they're like, and just like, no, that's mine. That's mine. No, it's mine. Come on, that's mine. I mean, that's, Jesus Christ. If these aren't all concepts that were just made up out of the thin blue air by a bunch of, I'm telling you, religion was made up by a bunch of funny guys that were really comedians back then. And they just created these concepts of religion. And they based it off of their buddies. You know, they had their fucking, their goofy friends, their fucking, their cheap friends, their annoying friends, and they were just like, all right, here's what we're going to do. And they just based it on that. And somehow, the guy named Morty Goldstein happened to be, got the religion that are fighting over land. And why? Because he's the one that was the bookkeeper for the group. He was the one that was like, guys, I don't think we can have fish tonight. Not one apiece. We're going to have to break that in half. And we never know. And they're like, Morty, we'll go fish and get more. No, 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 I don't. That's no, no. And then they go, but Morty, why do you get more fish? Well, because I'm special. Oh, got it, Morty. We follow you. You know, they got their Scientology friend. Why? Because he's just sitting in the sand. He's playing with, and they're like, what the fuck is he doing? And you know what? Let's like come up with. He believes in like sand people, or and he's like, woo, woo. And they're like, how about like flying objects and yeah, okay. You know, they're like, hey, Ron, yeah, Ron. And they're like, we'll give him like 3 names, like Ron L. Yeah, Ron L. Yeah, they're like, he's like, woo. He's got like a stick. He's put in the sand. They're like, Ron. He's like, look, guys. They're like, we're gonna call you a Scientologist, and you're gonna believe, like, you know that thing you got? Yeah, you came from that. What's that? That's a flying stick, but we'll call it like a ship, a flying ship. Actually, you know those boats. We're gonna make it that it flies in the sky, and you land in sand, and you leave like shit in the sand. All right. I mean, that's the only way religion got created, because ultimately, if you look back in history, God and the concept of Christianity and Jesus and that whole premise was all based on different stories, from Horus to sun gods, and they all had the same mantra: born a virgin birth. You know, it just went down the line. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, and if you want to talk about superheroes traditionally are created and made in that same vein. Superman. And if you even want to get more technical, Superman was created, and the creators of Superman were 2 Jewish fellows. And it's not any coincidence that the story of Superman is derived directly from the Bible. So you basically have 2 Jewish fellows that created the concept of Superman in the vein of being a Jewish guy. Meaning he's Superman that has all these great powers, but of course during the day he has to hide behind a very American name, Clark Kent. Kind of like the Jews did when they came to America, and every one of them changed their Jewish names to very, very white American sounding names, from Kirk Douglas on down, with these very white names of Kirk Douglas, and they went from the Kirk Douglases, or they were Harvey Schlipschitz and all these names. So religion has always been a evil in this country and in this world. And again, I don't care if people believe in an invisible man, rather you're a Jew, rather you're a Muslim, rather you're a Christian. But what I do care is when you take that religion and throw it into our politics. And when you take that religion and try to make policy. And that is when we have a problem. That is when this country it gets away from what it really is about, and that's freedom. And yes, when you talk about freedom, you could point to so many different things and say, well, that's not freedom, and this isn't freedom. And ultimately, you have to ask yourself, well, what is the definition of freedom? And if the definition of freedom is being able to have an AK-47 and walk down the street and shoot fucking blacks because you say they're looking at you funny, no, that's not what we're talking about. Simple concepts of having a job, paying your bills, sending your kids to school, getting in a car and driving to whatever church you want to go to. Basically doing what you got to do or doing what you do every day and leaving people alone, that's freedom. Being able to put on your television and watch whatever you fucking want that is coming through the airwaves. Getting online and going on any website that you want, as long as it doesn't involve fucking kids or you're looking up how to make bombs to blow up the country. And for the most part, we all have grandparents, we have relatives that are in their very senior stage of their life, and guess what? If you ask them, the majority of them will tell you that they've been pretty free, unless they're black, and then they'll say, well, not really. But for the most part, if you're a white American that's been born here in the United States and has not had any Latino heritage, meaning your grandmother or your mom is not George Lopez, and you're just the wacky, wild whites of the West Virginia, you've had a pretty good life, and you've been what they call free. And that is the freedom I'm talking about. And in this country, when people start taking religion and saying, I don't want to serve you food. Why? Because you're a faggot. That now is a dangerous perspective and a dangerous view, because now you're using this invisible man in the sky to discriminate. Because my flip on that would be, would we then, as non-religious people, be able to refuse service to anybody who was religious? As a shop owner, would I be allowed to discriminate somebody who walks into my store with a cross around their neck? If I was a photographer, if I owned a gymnasium, and a individual came in wearing a cross, could I say to them, sorry, I don't want your business? And they would say, well, why is that? And I said, well, you're wearing a crucifix around your neck. Would I be able to put up a shirt or a sign that says, no shoes, no shirt, can't wear crucifixes, and if you don't abide by any of these, no service? Can I do that? I bet you if there was a movement to create law that stated that people could discriminate based on religious beliefs, I bet you would hear a complete and utter outrage. Can you imagine if, as a store owner, I was standing in my store, I was standing in Ralph's, and a young Jewish fellow walked in with his yarmulke, and I went up to him and said, excuse me, sir, you need to get the fuck out. And he went, well, why? And I said, well, you're wearing a yarmulke. Well, so, well, it's my right to refuse you in my building because you are wearing your religious beliefs, and I don't serve and do business with Jews. What do you think, guys? You think that would go over big? You think people could create stores and create businesses that would discriminate against Jews? Oh, God, no. What, are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? Could you imagine that? Can you imagine if you created a business and you refused to do business with Jews and Christians, or wearing any memorabilia of a Jew and a Christian? Could you imagine what would happen? Now, if that seems silly to you, flip it around. Doesn't it seem kind of silly for someone refusing the right to do business with somebody based on the fact that they like to suck cock? Seriously. So a guy walks in and he's humming show tunes and he's wearing a fucking Liza Minnelli concert t-shirt from 1998, and you're able to say, excuse me, sir, I won't do business with you. And the guy goes, why? And you go, well, because you like show tunes, Liza Minnelli, and you're a faggot. So I won't do business with you. Get the fuck out of my store. I have that right under federal state law. Doesn't that seem a little weird? Doesn't that seem a little preposterous? Or if you're telling me no, it doesn't, again, flip that around and imagine a Jew walking in with his yarmulke, or imagine a Catholic walking in with a big old crucifix around their neck, and you saying, excuse me, I will not do business with either of you. And they go, why? And you go, well, because I don't do business with Jews. I don't do business with Christians. I don't do business with any of you people. Now get the fuck out of my store, because I have that right under state and federal law. Thank you. It's the exact same thing, ladies and gentlemen. It's the exact same thing. Discrimination is discrimination. I don't give a fuck if you're black, if you're white, if you're Mexican, if you're fucking retarded, if you're fucking a Jew. It doesn't matter. If you're going to say that you will not do business with somebody based on how they look, based on the color of their skin, based on their religion, based on their sexual orientation, which means based on who they want to fuck, who they love, that, my friends, is wrong. And that is the exact same thing as hating a Jew because they're a fucking Jew. Not because they're an annoying little jerk-off that happens to bother you on a regular basis. No. But just hating them because they're a Jew. Again, I have plenty of Jew friends that I fucking don't like just based on the fact that they're annoying jerk-offs. Being a Jew has nothing to do with it. That's kind of just the thing that goes, figures. But hating gays and discriminating against gays and making a law based on religion is preposterous. It's wrong. And when you think it's right, just imagine who you are, whether you're a Jew or a Christian or a black or a fucking Mexican, and imagine your state being able to deny you any rights whatsoever based on what you are. And then stating that it's a religious grounds. Don't make sense. It's not right. And if any of you go along with any of that stuff, you are just as evil and as bad as the Nazis. Just as evil and as bad as Nazis, just as evil as bad as the Southern Ku Kluxers that hang blacks up by the fucking trees. You're just as evil as bad as the Inquisition days. You're just as evil as bad as that parent who didn't want you to date their daughter because they felt you were a piece of shit. Your family was a piece of shit. You had no class. It's all that same thing. If you've ever felt discriminated against for one way or another, and you literally sat back and said, I can't believe that person doesn't like me based on how I look, how I dress, my religion, my sexual orientation, my skin color, every single one of those feelings are exactly what it means to hate and discriminate against gays based on a religious belief. So if you're part of that, shame on you, and you should just basically kill yourself. Or go in the street and let a fucking gay beat the shit out of you with a fucking dildo, or a French tickler, or something of that nature. But at the end of the day, you are practicing hate, but you're hiding behind a thing called religion. You're hiding behind basically the Bible. And we've had enough murder done in this country based on religion. 9/11 and 4,000 people getting murdered in the World Trade Center was based on religion. Muslim fundamental terrorists, they destroyed the towers, destroyed people's lives, and committed murder based on religion. And the list goes on and on. We can talk about all of the death, most of the violence and murder that took place in the South against the blacks was based on religion. Segregation based on religion. All of the evil that has ever been done in the United States of America has been on religion. And now what Arizona and other states like this, they're trying to go back to a time where it's acceptable to hate based on religion. And that's disgusting. And hopefully this little piece of shit Governor Jan Brewer will veto that bill, and we can put a stop to this type of crap and move on with a country that has nothing but positive things going on. And we've made great progress in these last 6 years with our President Obama. From having 4 million people covered with insurance that never had it before, to an economy that, and I'll never, and it's always amazing to me when people go, wow, the economy is not growing like it should. But is the economy growing? Well, yeah, but, it's not growing like it should. Is unemployment down? Well, yeah, but, people just decided to stop looking for work. It's like any other president, every one of these positives would be enormous positives. But with this president, they're not positives. So if the unemployment's at 6.4%, it's only because, millions of people decided to stop looking for a job. Okay. And I've said it time and time again. If you take into account for those people, it will still only bump up unemployment by about 0.3. So if you add that up, the unemployment's at what? 6.7? So I think the economy's been doing pretty good. Again, to let these states fall back on this religious hate, that, my friends, is falling back where we have made great strides as a country in these past almost 6 years with a president that has come through with everything he has said. At the end of the day, he talked about change and he talked about hope. And people in that first 2 years of his presidency like to mock that. But I don't see too many people mocking that anymore because we've got a lot of fucking change. And all that change was built on a lot of people hoping for the change. And at the end of the day, that's exactly what we got. We're out of 2 wars. The stock market is through the roof. unemployment is down, you have gay marriage, you have things that people were hoping would happen. When the stock market was at 5,000 and people were jumping out the window, what did they do? They hoped that the stock market would rebound and they would get their life savings back. And what happened? It did. When people were hoping that you would have gays being able to be married, what happened? They were able to. When people were hoping that their loved ones would come home from 2 wars, and they would come home not maimed and killed and whatever the fuck happens in those atrocities over there, what happened? They did. You hope for something, and guess what? After a certain amount of time, you have to make a judgment if you got it. Well, you had 4 million people that hoped they would get health insurance and they would be covered and they didn't walk around dying on the streets. And what happened? 4 million people got it. You had people that hoped they could get health insurance with pre-existing conditions, and what happened? They got it. People hoped, and I make this in a big, they hoped we would get the man that was responsible for 9/11, and we put a bullet in his head, and we would bring this cocksucker in a body bag and throw his ass in the water. And what happened? We did. We got Osama bin Laden. So I think when this president 6 years ago said, I bring hope and change, I just gave you 6 things that people hoped happened, and they all did. Let's hope Jan Brewer of Arizona does the right thing and vetoes this bill, because the last thing we need is to go backwards as a country and come under fire of Republican law, which will take this country and put it in the hole. Again, ladies and gentlemen, I remember we hoped that the auto industry would get saved, and what happened? It did. Ladies and gentlemen, everything we hoped for pretty much came true. I could give you a shitload of hopes, and you can't give me anything except maybe 2 goddamn things. And both of them had nothing to do with what happens here in the United States of America. And if Benghazi is all you got, you better hope you got more than that, because in another 2.5 years, we're going to have a Democrat in the office, and her name's Hillary Clinton. And then you're going to see some more motherfucking change. It's the Rob Black Show. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back in about 6 minutes. Back, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Whoa. 5 minutes. Jeez. I love when we take a break and everybody just starts busting my balls. Like I was like, what the fuck, man? Fucking 5 minutes. It's like, guys, it ain't that fucking long. Jesus. It ain't that long, god damn it. Anyways, Jesus, it's 1:49 p.m. It's 1:49 p.m. on this February 20th. I totally forgot that it's the end of the month, or it's the end of the month. It's February, and the fact that there's like 28 days in the goddamn month. Ugh, sucks. It's horrible. It's horrible. It's fucking the end of the month, and there's only 28 days. I hate that. I hate that. It's almost like I feel like when we get into the February area and we don't have the amount of days that we're supposed to have, I literally feel robbed of time. I do. As silly as that sounds, I feel fucking robbed of time. And more importantly, when they created the calendar, who's the asshole? And it doesn't really make any sense, does it? It doesn't make any fucking sense for them to come up with the fucking calendar and every other motherfucking day or month and day of the calendar, 30 days, 31 days. Why February just 28? Such a fucking random 28. Like, seriously, I get it. 30, 31, 30, 31. But then all of a sudden, the person that was making the calendar said, this is going to be 28. And why didn't the person, because you know he had to work on the calendar with a friend. I mean, we're not talking about the person who made up the 12 fucking months, and he made the calendar, and he said, all right, here's what it's going to be. We're going to have this calendar thing. And the guy went, okay. And okay, here's the calendar. And then on this top is where you put like a picture of like a chick or something. And I'm joking. I'm not joking. At some point, they did the same thing that we did. The guy went, here's the calendar. And his buddy went, what are you going to put up there? And he went, your wife? And he went, no, seriously. He goes, no, seriously. Your wife's hot. What about if we just make every month, we just have a different picture of her? And the guy's like, oh, shit, okay. Like doing what? And he's like, well, this picture will have her picking wheat. Oh, yeah. And what about this month? All right, well, this month we got her churning butter. Okay. Well, what about this month? This month we have her getting stoned. Oh, yeah. Well, then what about this month? Well, this month is your new wife. Oh, right on. And then they just go. But my question is, when he went, all right, this is January. Okay. And now this is February. And he went, 28 days. His buddy went, why is January more? And he went, I don't know. Well, why do you do 28? And he went, well, I was thinking maybe we'll just do 28 days. And his buddy went, nah, man, keep it to like 30 and 31. And he went, really? He went, yeah. He went, all right, fuck it. And then they kept going. Because it's the only fucking month with 28. So you know it was a fuck up. There was no plan. Anytime you have a giant spectrum of stuff, and that one thing is the odd, the runt, it's the shit. When you have 8 kids and you got the one kid that's a retard, you don't sit there and go, ah, damn. Well, we got these 7 shitty kids and this one great one. You sit there and say, I got 7 great kids and 1 fucking retard. Huh? Go figure. When a dog has puppies and they have the one runt that's a little piece of shit, they kill it. They eat it. They fucking eat it and they fucking get rid of it. Because it's shit. It's the same thing with life. You got a bunch of kids, good kid, good kid, good kid, mass murderer. It's the shit one. Good kid, good kid, good kid, one with cerebral palsy. The fuck out of here. It's the shit one. It's the same thing. This fucking calendar and the concept it was created with was a fuck up. February was supposed to have 30 or 31 days. But when the asshole who invented the calendar was creating it, his buddy, because only his friends, this wasn't a guy who created a calendar by himself, because it's obvious that it was either his girlfriend or if it was a dude, his boyfriend. Could be, it could be, there could have been queers back then blowing each other. He's like, what are you doing? Well, I decided to make it 28 days. And his buddy was like, oh, no, it's fucking stupid, you faggot. And he's like, all right, I'll go back to 30 and 31. All right. Oh. It's obvious that the guy wasn't by himself when he invented the calendar, because somebody told him that February and making it 28 days was fucking stupid. Okay? Obvious. 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 Okay? There's no bullshitting about that. Alright? Seriously, you guys. There's no bullshitting. January, you got 31 days. March, you got 31 days. April, you got 30 days. May, you got 31 days. June, you got 30 days. July, you got 31 days. August, you got 31 days. September, you got 30 days. October, you got 31 days. November, you got 30 days. December, you got 31 days. It's all 30 and 31. Only February's got 28. He fucked up. 28 was a fuck up. That was the runt of the litter. That was the 12 kids that you have, and that one kid is fucking retarded. And you're like, yeah, this is my great kids. And you're like, well, you got 12. Yeah, but we keep February in the back. When they have the family picture of the fucking months, February's the fucker that's in the back hidden like this. And you're like, oh, who the fuck is that? So you go, that's February. He's like, what do you mean that's February? Oh, I can't really see him too well. Because he's fucking retarded. That's why you can't see him well. We fucking hide him. Alright? When he's not in a picture, we put him in the basement in a little fucking box. The little cocksucker's only got 28 fucking brain cells. The rest of our fucking kids got 30 and 31. But this little cocksucker's got 28. 28. It's not even fucking 29. It's not even one off from 30. It's like 28, 29, 30, 31. 31. It's 28 to 31 is a huge leap. Telling you, the guy who invented the calendar was fucking retarded. Okay? And somebody slapped the shit out of him, his buddy, and said, yo, you can't do random days. Because the guy officially had the calendar, and he was like, all right, January's 31. February's 28. March is 16. April's going to be 1. And his buddy was like, hey, let me see that calendar. So you got this month with 1 fucking day? And he's like, yeah, it'd be like the quickest month in the world. It's like you wake up and it's like, we're on the next month. And his buddy was like, really, come here. Give me a fucking drop kick, you asshole. And his buddy went, all right, here. This is what you're going to do. And he went down like that. He went, see there. His buddy went, you made all of them end on 31. He went, yeah. Okay. So then when he left, he went and scribbled it out and went, 31, 30, 31, 30, 31, 30. And then when the fucking calendar got printed, and they put the guy's fucking wife on the cover, and they went to the store, and he got the fucking calendar, and got it. He was like, what the fuck? He was like, Marvin! What did I do? I set this fucking calendar up with everything with 31 days, you motherfucker. He was like, he was like, motherfucker. Marvin's like, what are you gonna do? They're already printed, and you know, and the guy's wife was like, oh, honey, I love the calendar. It's fucking beautiful. Fucking dude's like, Marvin, oh, I did it just for you. And you know, it's so great that it goes from 30 to 31. It's like some months we get an extra day. And it's so cool that on this month, you just shortened it to 28. It's kind of like, let's get done with February, because you know what, honey? You put that picture of me, it's just so not flattering on this. So I like that, because it's like, here's Mabel, and she's churning butter, and it's just so not me. But you don't have to look at it that long, because you made it only 28 days. Oh, honey, you're so beautiful. Oh, honey, I'm glad you like me, motherfucking Marvin. She's like, that's so beautiful. And then they put the fuck there. There's the calendar. That's how the fucking calendar was created. It's the only fucking way the calendar is created. Because the only logical explanation that everything else is actually pretty sane in the months, but February we get shorted 4 fucking days. So there's my calendar take, god damn it. It's the Rob Black Show. God damn it. It's the Rob Black Show. Do you understand that? Yeah, and then Katie Summers just chimed in and said, also, honey, they knew it would be Black History Month, and they said, fuck the blacks, let's give them a shortened month. Yeah, I think I can kind of roll. I think I can kind of, they're sitting around back then going, you know, we're going to have to give them chocolates a fucking month. Let's just make February 28. That way we only got to deal with those fuckers for 28 days. And they're like, yeah, all right. You know why? Because one of their friends has got a black girlfriend. And he was like, yo, man, you going to do something for me on one of the months? We're going to have some kind of celebratory time. And they went, yeah, February, 28 days, asshole. And he went, ah, shit. You mean, oh, you motherfuckers get 30 and 31 days, and I get 28? Shit. And they're like, yeah, you get 28 days. Be lucky you got fucking a day, a month at all. Now go sow the fucking field, you monkey. Get out of here. That's horrible. The Rob Black Show is horrible. But it's true. They gave him 28 days. Why? They didn't like him. So basically, the two concepts of the calendar. The guy who invented it was fucking retarded and wanted to fuck with the world. And his buddy had to come in and put him straight. And number two, they knew they were going to have to give their buddy Claudel Jackson a month, and they said, fuck it, give him February. We only got to deal with his ass for 28 days. There you go. That was a good one, Katie Summers. Isn't it wrong when your girlfriend slash wife slash significant other, because that could be a girl, she could be a girl, we could be lesbians, but when your significant other has the same wavelength and thinking like you do, ladies and gentlemen, that's fucked up. It's the Rob Black Show. Yes, it is. And we're beaming to you live at 2:04 p.m. And what that means is Blog Talk Radio is off the air. I totally forgot about Blog Talk when I say goodbye to them. And I say that we're signing off, blah, 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 because they're off into another stratosphere. Anyway, so we're going to take a break for about 4 seconds. And we'll be back after these amazing words. And when I say amazing words, ladies and gentlemen, I mean amazing, amazing words. And this is called running out of gas. Well, yeah, we're live. It's the Rob Black Show. And it's 8:10 p.m. and we're late. Yes, we are. And I'll tell you why. Let me tell Tom Byron, a little treated tweeter. Hey, Tom Byron, Katie Summers tweeted that we were live right now. Why don't you retweet that? That way we can get the word out. So, Rob Black here, and we are live. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you, you're going to be impressed. You might not be impressed. I think I'm impressed. But maybe I'm just a big jag-off like normal. But we're live. And I'm going to tell you how we're live. And why we're live, and why you should be impressed, and why we're late. We ran out of gas. Yes, we did. Now, I don't know if I have an elaborate story to this process, but we ran out of gas. And now, I can explain to you how this happened. I can explain to you and what is going on. And that, my friends, is something that I'm going to tell you. And here it goes. Let me get my cylinder. So I got a little Diet Coke with me. I got a little Aquafina purified water, which means, guess what? It's just shitty-ass tap water that the Coca-Cola company runs through a purifying system and out spits whatever the fuck this water comes. And it's basically purified through a machine, and it's tap water. So here's the story. Because we have no dinero, okay? Do you know what fucking dinero is? That is a moolah. Do you know what moolah is? That's money. Do you know what money is? It's currency. Do you know what currency? It's not Bitcoin. Okay, motherfuckers? It is this thing. These things, okay? These things. These are called dollars. And when you have lack of, you can't properly get gasoline. Yes, you cannot get proper gasoline unless you have more of these green things, dollars. Now, normally the process is we will put $3 to $5 in the tank daily. And that $3 to $5, depending on which we put in, will get us to and from the office and a little through the North Hollywood area. Yes, a little through the North Hollywood area. And so generally it will be from our studio to Katie Summers' house, from Katie Summers' house back to the studio, and then to Smart and Final, Ralph's, sometimes Ventura Boulevard, in the NoHo area off Lincoln. And that is basically what a $3 to $5 gas tank will get us. Now, we did not put gas in the car yesterday because the day before, I gave Tom Byron exactly $5 into the gas tank. And I said that should last us until today. So at about 6 o'clock, I should say 5 to 6, we ran out of here like we normally do. And we went to Smart and Final. So we got to Smart and Final, and we did our shopping. I picked up 2 sweet onions, 2 green peppers, a thing of sour cream, a thing of cheese, a goddamn thing was $18. What the fuck did I buy? 2 Diet Cokes, 3 Powerades. So that's $3. That's $5. 5, 6, 7. Cheese 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah. Anyways, that was the goods that we bought. And we left the office, and I said to Tom Byron, I said, do we got enough gas to make it to the store and to the house without having to stop to get gas? Because I hate rushing when I get to Katie's house when I'm cooking, because I would like to at least have a half hour to just kind of decompress and relax, watch the news, get updated on what I missed in the afternoon, and go from there. So Tom Byron looked at me and he said, that's exactly it. It's a mumble of a yes and a no. And it, depending what way it could go, was what it would mean. And that is, if we make it there, the answer would be yes. And if we run out of gas, the answer would be no. But it's a roll the dice. So we drive out of the strip club and we go to Smart and Final. We run in there and we buy the groceries. I see my attractive, large body cone specimen Jasmine, and I go, dude, and I wave to her because her line was packed, and I went into another line. And so as we were leaving, she waved to us, I waved to her. She had a nice bright red lipstick on. She had her
We're back, ladies and gentlemen.
eyebrows.
How the fuck did Rob Black get in the office?
Very doable in the face.
Jesus Christ, how did Rob Black get in the office? I had to take a break for a minute. You know why I had to take a break for a minute, guys? And I don't know if any of the girls that listen to the program would understand this. I'm not even sure if there's any girls that listen to the Rob Black show. And this might be the coveted 18 to 34-year-old demographic. But literally, while we were wrapping up the calendar bit, had a unbelievable urge to take a shit, literally. And I contemplated rolling through the rest of the program with the shit in my asshole ready to come out. But there was no way I could have held it, and I would have been uncomfortable throughout this entire end segment with the shit lingering in my my stomach here. So I had to shit. So I just ran in there, and I took a huge shit, 2 shits. The shits were like this long, 2 of them side by side, like 2 torpedoes. And they were good. They were almost like, do you ever see corn husks? You've seen a corn husk, right? With the strands of hair of a corn husk. Imagine 2 torpedo-like turds that look like corn husks. You can tell it's very rich with protein, very healthy. Tom Byron says, I have healthy shit. Now, you would say, well, how does Tom Byron know about your shit? Does he stare at your shit? Let me explain. Last night, ladies and gentlemen, I put pictures up of my shit on my Instagram. And they were awesome shit. Literally. I mean, one shit was this long. I mean, it was like, it looked like a little black dick. That, like, it wasn't thick like my Mandingo dick, but it was long. I mean, this motherfucker was long. It looked like a little black dick. Actually, it looked more like an Indian dick. It more looked like if one of the Indians over at 7-Eleven had a big long dick. That's what it looked like. It was shit colored, kind of like an Indian is, shit colored. Did you ever notice that? Indians, and I'm not talking about Indians, talking about Indians, dot head Indians. Did you ever notice they're shit colored? They look like your shit. Do you think that's a coincidence? I don't think so. I think that's a reasoning for that. Okay? I think there's a reasoning for that. Anyways, last night on my Instagram, I put a picture of the one turd that was like a small Indian arm or an Indian cock. And I then took a video of it being flushed and watching the turd go right down the tube. Now, I was told that I needed to take it off my Instagram because I would get flagged and or I would get my account deleted because they are PG and you can't even show pictures of a nipple. Now, I had a question, and the question was, when did feces become more offensive than nipples? And I was kind of disturbed with the fact that feces and my pictures of feces would be wrong. And the fact that I would get flagged and my account would get terminated was kind of upsetting. I thought showing a picture of feces was not a big deal. And when I would go to YouTube, because the great Patrick of the Rob Black Show would send me pictures of people shitting their pants or little kids going down amusement park slides and shit runs on down the goddamn slides. All of these goddamn things I thought were acceptable. If they were acceptable on YouTube, then they'd be acceptable on Instagram. But I guess they're not. I'm a little upset by it, but nonetheless, it's wrong. So I had to take the pictures down. But when I took them down, Tom Byron marveled at my feces. I mean, he really did. He marveled at it. I mean, at one point, I think I caught him sitting in his office, not writing stories, but just staring at the picture of my feces on his computer, almost like a clip from the movie Sheep. And he was imagining that he was Joaquin Phoenix, and my feces was Scarlett Johansson, and my feces was calling him and talking to him, and he was falling in love with my feces. And literally, I stood at a distance. I didn't want to make a sound because I didn't want to disturb Tom Byron's love affair, but I watched him slowly put his arms around my computer, or his computer, and he blew the picture of my feces up to where it wasn't just a small picture, but it was encompassing the entire screen, a whole 30-inch screen. And he then put his arms around the computer and started to press his face up against the computer screen and rub it back and forth. And I heard him talking, and he was like, "Oh, feces. Oh, I want you." And here's the creepy thing. He turned my feces pictures
into audio. I did not realize this, but he put it through a program that's available on Google, and you can find anything on Google. And he went on Google and he put in feces picture audio talking, and lo and behold, he loaded a program from other fecal freaks, and that's what they're called. They're called fecal freaks, and some are German, and some are just straight Ira Isaac followers. And what they all have in common is a name that is known as fecal freaks. So this program that he loaded had a woman's voice, much like Scarlett Johansson's voice, and it would say, "Tom, I love you. Hold me." And so he would hold the computer screen and imagine that he was holding my feces. And it was loving. It was touching. And then my feces, the picture or the video, I should say, of it being flushed down the toilet was something that he would replay over and over because it was like having a fluid motion. But he would cut it off right before it got sucked out the toilet chute. So it was really just the feces swirling in the bowl. So when he would push the button, it was kind of like a vigorous sex act with a woman. And so he would hold it, and as it would spin, and it would oh, I love you, Tom. I love you, Tom. I love you, Tom. Oh. And I'll tell you, I watched for about 25 minutes, and it was something to be seen. It was something interesting. It was something exciting. It was something magical. And it was something that, was love. It was love at first sight. It was love at first sight of my feces. And I asked Tom about that this morning. I said, what was up with the feces? And he looked at me and he said, I'm a fecal freak. I am a fecal freak. I'm in love with fecal, but not just any fecal. You're fecal. And I said, that's touching. So maybe if Tom Byron wants to share my feces, he will post it on my Twitter later on today. Maybe. Now, you would have to email him or email me, and I could forward it to him and ask him, because ultimately it's like him sharing his wife with the world, sharing his wife with millions of people out there to basically gawk at and to look at. And I don't know how he would feel about that, but nonetheless, maybe we could get that out of him, and he can share that and share his love with the world. Anyways, it's the Rob Black Show, and I just realized that I don't know if I got all this shit out. I feel like I have more shit in there. Matter of fact, I feel like I didn't properly wipe my asshole good enough, and there's a little piece of shit that's still on the O-ring of my asshole. But I know that's not the case because I wiped my asshole with 2 wipes, 1, 2, and there was no poop on it. But it's still there. Why it's still there? Because there's still a good piece in there, and I think I was just rushing to get back on the air to bring you guys more quality entertainment about feces, about calendars, Jews, gays, and God. And in no particular order, but all the above was what I needed to get back to you all and talk to you about. Because let's face it, this is the show that brings hard-hitting information
about Jews, shit, God, gays, and all points in between. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's 2:25 p.m. You want to get into a little porn news? You want to see what's happening in the porn market? Do you want to see what's happening in the world of pornography? What do you want to talk about, ladies and gentlemen? Because if there's anything that you want to talk about, let's talk about it. Okay? If you want to talk about porn, let's do it. If you want to talk about the skin trade, let's do it. Or if you guys just want to talk about, more current events, let's do it. Whatever you want to do, God damn it, let's talk about it. But let's, God damn, God damn, God damn, God damn. Let's get to it. I gotta get the theme music on, so. Man, what a fucking day. And I hate when it's shitty out. If you guys notice, well, I don't know how many of you are in Los Angeles, California. I don't know how many of you are in the world of Cali. Some of you are from all over. I have a lot of fans that are overseas, believe it or not. When I look at the stats, I see a lot of people in Europe. I see a lot of people in, namely, Britain, believe it or not. And I think that's because we've gotten so much publicity with different documentaries. And if you guys go to Adult FYI and you take a look, we actually have a documentary that's up now. And that documentary is a BBC movie they made back, I think it was 2003. It was around, I think it was around the first term of Bush and before, right before the his run against Kerry, I think. I'm pretty sure that was the around the time frame. So it was 03. It was the time with John Kerry, and the BBC came out and hit me up, and they said, we'd love to do a documentary on you. You are really prevalent over in Europe because there's this talk show host, and I always say his name wrong, so I don't even want to listen to it from any of you, but it's Louis Thorax or Louis Thoreau or something in that vein. And he would do a TV show where he would put himself in different jobs, almost like a George Plimpton, if any of you remember that name. So he would go and there's been numerous copycats off these people. I think that guy who does Dirty Jobs, I can't remember his name, but I think he does similar, where he goes and decides to go get a job with like cleaning urinals for like a week, or working in a slaughterhouse, or just some weird fucking thing. Well, Louis Theroux would have a show in Europe, and he would do the similar things, take up different jobs, so forth and so on. And back in the early days of the 90s, he did a episode where he comes out to Los Angeles and gets into the porn business. And I was one of his subjects, and we talked, and it was a really good piece, and a lot of people commented about it and talked about it being incredibly funny, incredibly entertaining. And I got a lot of publicity from that. So when I got indicted in 0203, this BBC film crew hit me up, and they wanted to do a documentary on their George Bush administration, John Ashcroft, the religious right. And I said, of course, let's do it. So they came out and filmed me for about a week, I think. They were with us for about a week, and went back to England and put this documentary together. And they aired it on the BBC. And it was called Porn King versus the President. And they sent me copies, and I actually have it airing on adultfyi.com. So if you go there right now, if you go to the site right now, you can read or about it, see about it, listen about it, do everything that you need to do to enjoy the documentary. I even think there's, like I said when I say read, I think in the archives of adultfyi.com there's an article about the documentary. I could be wrong, but I think there is. So if you go on adultfyi.com, you can watch the documentary and possibly read the story about it. But who gives a fuck about that story? Watch the fucking documentary. It's good. It's entertaining. We've talked about it before, and I figured I'd put it up again. I think we had it up for a day or two once before, but this time around, I wanted to put it up again. As I've told you, every goddamn day, we have more and more traffic hits. We have more and more things that are going up, up, up. So for every listener and every viewer of the websites that were around 3 months ago, today we have more and more people. So I want more and more people to view the documentaries. I want more and more people to see exactly what we are about. So that's very important to me. And go to it, view it, and it's thoroughly entertaining. I'm a lot heavier. I'm very fat. Very fat. Very fat. Like, I tell you, I got very fat in the porn business, like real fat. And man, I used to eat a lot of fucking food. Like, I just used to be a fat slob. I mean, seriously, I used to just be a big fat motherfucker, like disgustingly fat. Like, just when you look at some, like basically like you look at all the BBWs that are in the business right now, and they actually try to profess that they're pretty, or just they're just fucking gross. You're just not, as a human being, you're just not supposed to be fucking that obese. And wow, I was a fat fuck, man. I was 250. So I'm 153 right now, and I'm upset by it. I was 139 come December. What was it, you guys? 23rd? Was it 23rd? Remember, Christmas Eve. It's been 2 months now, you guys, since I've been sober. I got sober on Christmas Eve, if you guys remember. That was the day that I dropped Katie Summers, that little piece of shit, off to her parents in Texas, where she abandoned me. She got in a fucking airplane, and she abandoned me. God knows what she was doing in Texas, fucking partying it up with a bunch of fucking Johnny Rebel fans. But it was Christmas Eve, December. So that was, what, the 24th? So the 24th of December to January 24th. That's 1 month. January 24th to February 24th, which was 2 days ago. That's 2 months. So I've been clean now for 2 months and 2 days. Where's my chip? Where's my chips? Where's my little congratulatory chips that all the junkies get? Where's my chips? I don't got no fucking chips. I got nothing. I got no chips. I got nothing. Aren't I supposed to get chips? Aren't I supposed to get hit up by a whole bunch of people that go, congratulations, you actually had willpower. Yeah. Well, I got no chips, okay, assholes? Because, not for nothing, but when you're fucked up and you decide to clean up and not do shit no more, there shouldn't be a big fucking party for it, all right? You just clean up, you don't do shit, and you go on with your life. If you stop fucking little kids, you don't have a fucking party and say it's been 2 months since I stopped fucking kids in their assholes. Does a priest fucking come out and say, hey, just want to tell all you guys, I've been clean and sober from fucking little boys in their assholes for 2 months. Do I get a little chip that says, good job, you stopped fucking kids in their assholes? I mean, seriously, when you stop robbing banks, do you raise your hand and go, hey, ladies and gentlemen, I've gone 2 months without robbing a bank. Do I get my fucking chip? This fucking country's amazing. We reward people for doing the right thing that you're supposed to do. And I'm not talking about winning a competition. I'm talking about, you stopped abusing your body with food and alcohol and drugs. Here, let me reward you. Well, get the fuck out. You just do it. You just do it, you fucking jerk off. God damn, you just do it. There's no need for rewarding. That's why I don't really talk about it. Very rarely. I don't even think about that shit no more. And it's amazing that my life revolved around weed and fucking booze and fucking food and antidepressants and fucking anti-anxiety pills and all of that stuff. Fucking amazing. But you got to have the willpower and you got to actually want. And that's the issue when people talk about this meetings and all of these things. It has nothing to do with a drive or a sickness. None of that. What it means is you just don't want to do it. That's all. Just like you don't want to fuck a fat chick, or you don't want to fuck a little kid in its asshole. It's the same thing. You just gotta not want to get fucked up. That's all. And again, we're not talking about being a fucking heroin addict where you gotta detox for fucking 3 days. Because once you get that shit out of your system and you've been locked in a fucking room, after that it's a matter of wanting. So after you got the junk out of your system for a fucking week, from that point forward, it's a matter of wanting. And if you go back to using dope, guess what? That's because you wanted to. It has nothing to do with fucking anything other than you wanted to. That's all. And when you don't want to do something anymore, then you'll stop. When you don't want to rob banks anymore, then you'll stop. When you don't want to fuck kids in their assholes anymore, then you'll stop. When you're John Stalliano and you don't want to keep deceiving people anymore, then you will stop. These are all when you want to stop cheating on your wife, that's when you'll stop. It's all a matter of want. It has nothing to do with chemicals, it has nothing to do with anything. Once you go through the initial process of drying out, whether it's heroin, cocaine, marijuana, any of those initial process where there's some form of chemical dependency, once that's out of your system, it's a matter of want. Now, when it comes to fucking little boys, when it pertains to priests, I don't know what chemicals are there for them. I don't know if young boy asshole has a special chemical and makes fucking priests get all nutty inside. I must. I've never experienced young boy asshole, so I wouldn't be able to tell you. But for the amount of priests that fuck kids, there must be something on their little assholes that gives them a euphoric feeling that is like a drug. That once they're weaned off of fucking little boy assholes for a week or two, then it becomes a matter of want. And if they want to stop fucking little boy asses, then they'll do it. If not, then they keep it up. So when people use the cop out, well, I can't, I'm chemically dependent. No, you're not. Once that chemical's out of your system, you just want to use dope. You just want to rape people. You just want to fuck little boys in their assholes. So we haven't wanted to get fucked up in 2 months and 2 days. There's been no want whatsoever. And I feel pretty good by that. And that's how I've always been. I've always just had mental issues. I've always had that mental issue that says if I want to stop something, I'll stop. And then I just do it. And if I want to start something, I just start it. I just do it. It has nothing to do with anything else. It's all mind over your body, mind over your own mind, and mind over your own heart. And there's not too many things that I can't beat. There's not too many things that I can't overcome. And I've never been held down. I've never been held back. And any time that I've been slapped and punked and drop kicked, I've always got up, dusted myself off, and continued and gotten further and faster and harder than I ever had before. When it comes to prison, losing my life, losing my marriage, losing everything, I've always rebounded and come back with a vengeance. And we're in that second stage of our lives at the age of 40, and we are fucking fighting and kicking ass again, and we're very close to achieving something that we never had in our heyday of my success. So I'm looking forward to that, and I appreciate all the people that have been supporters of us from day one, who's been with us from day one, and who's had our backs from day one. There hasn't been too many, but those of you who have been with us, I appreciate it. So a big swig of vitamin water for you. So now, let's get on to the porn world, you motherfucker. So go and take a look at the documentary. It's good, and I'm fat. And I hate being so fat. Anyways, it's the Rob Black. That's why I get nervous. That's why I'm working out again. I'm like, ugh, I don't want to get fat. I see I'm getting a little muffin top going. Not good. Anyways, let's get into it. Here it goes. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, wow. Why do I smell shit? I smell poop. Why do I smell poop? It's not me, you motherfuckers. Anyways, Rob Black Show. Let's keep going. I gotta turn the thing here. I can hear the fucking dirty animals from downstairs doing their thing. All the hookers are here today. And these strippers here at Star Gardens are the worst wretched fucking shit in the world. They actually got a girl here that's got like a bald head. She's got a little shaved head. Looks like Sinead O'Connor. It's ugly as fuck. It's an ugly troll. But anyways, we'll talk about that maybe tonight, because I'm sure the bitch will be here cackling it up all night. Anyways, let's go. Ladies and gentlemen, that is, you know what that is? That's Pac-Man eating shit. Porn news. All right, let's take a look at the porn spectrum and see what we got. Okay. Let's go to AVN, ladies and gentlemen, and see if we got anything. Looking around, looking around, looking around. All right. I pull pants. Anyways, oh god, pull pants. These are my Guess jeans. All right, you motherfuckers. So let's go, and we go to. What do you want to go to first? I don't even know. Let's go to XBiz first. You guys want to go to XBiz? Do you want to go to XBiz? Do you want to go to XBiz? XBiz always loads slow. Why do they always load slow? Seriously, guys, why the fuck are they always loading slow? It's like constantly. It's like, come on, man. Anyways, nothing. Nothing. It's just like nothing. It's like, really? It's like, you guys got nothing. All right. Nothing. You got the boys from Canada, Ted Blitt and John Blitt, the father and son porn team. They're doing a movie. Okay, great. Go figure. They're doing a movie. They got a new Hard X movie. Great. All right. Really useful cash. Nick's Bitcoin payment option. Okay, great. Paradise, just all press releases. Japanese machine reportedly depixelizes porn. Okay, great. Again, like, who gives a fuck? Are we in Japan? Do we give a fuck about Japan? Does it fucking matter about having porn that they can depixel? Who fucking cares? Okay. Oh God, there's just nothing. Nothing.
I mean, there's really nothing. I'm literally, I'm looking for something. There's absolutely nothing going on, and I'm just perplexed. Just a bunch of cut and paste stuff. Paradise debuts condom cocktails. Okay, awesome. I mean, seriously, you guys. This is XBiz. This is XBiz. Let's see, Ava Devine. Isn't this broad like 50 years old? She inks deal with OC modeling. Oh, great. So she's with a fucking, she's in a, I don't even know how to, this is just embarrassing. Great. Ava Devine, broad's been around for fucking 20 years, is now having OC modeling pimp her out. Oh, God. Okay. That's it. I mean, really, there's really absolutely nothing going on. You know what I'd like to know? Remember when, and I'm sure nobody will talk about this because everybody's too busy talking about stuff that nobody gives a shit about because nobody's got a goddamn thought process in their head or any type of reporting or any type of investigative where let's go over to the AVN and let's take a look at let's see what's going on over there. So it talks about nothing. Literally, it's got Digital Playground, which is Manwin, talking about doing movies. Okay, great. Awesome. And they're doing just really stupid shit. Now we'll go to, literally, guys, I'm literally sitting here trying to find anything on AVN to talk about. There's just nothing to talk about. What else they got? Oh, Inside Adult Radio addresses use of porn in marriage counseling. This is Paul Fishbine's piece of shit radio show on his butt buddy Steve Hirsch's Vivid channel. Today's episode, Inside Adult, host Paul Fishbine, Veruca James, and Danny Daniels will address the practice of using pornography in marriage counseling. Joining the hosts in the studio are acclaimed psychiatrist at UCLA, Professor Dr. Walter Brackman's adult entertainment legend and adult filmmaker Jackie St. James. Okay. That is gotta be just the most boring, lamest, like, really. I'm gonna tell you something. If Steve Hirsch and Vivid Radio actually had to get ratings, they would actually be done. If Steve Hirsch wasn't spending $1 million+ to have the former Manwin time slot on Sirius XM 102, they would get thrown off the air. Who the fuck gives a shit about Paul Fishbine and a bunch of stupid porn girls talking about the use of marriage and porn and talking to old ass Nina Hartley and some kook from UCLA, Dr. Walter Brackman's. I mean, it's like, come on, man. Really, guys? Okay, there. That's AVN's top story. So literally, that's one of their stories. How is that anything entertaining? How is that anything hard-hitting? How is that anything provocative? It's not. It's shit. It's literally shit. All right? It's garbage. All right?
So AVN's got nothing. Let's go to the hillbilly loser, and let's see what he's got. Oh, God. Oh, my God. Oh. This fucking moron is still talking about a fucking article that was in Cosmopolitan. Jesus Christ. This is amazing. This guy could get this much traction on somebody else's story. Like it says, sometimes I am clueless, though not necessarily wrong. He says, I never in a million years thought that Duke freshman story would get the legs it did yesterday. I mean, it's a week-plus old story, but it blew up, even getting a mention on the local news. What local news? In fucking Georgia? In the fucking trailer parks of Georgia? What local news, dummy? I watch the local news in Los Angeles, and I haven't heard about the Duke freshman. Again, this is just the biggest, stupidest fucking thing I've ever heard about. It really is. I heard this story when my girlfriend told me about it last week, and she read it on Cosmopolitan. Again, Katie Summers reads Cosmopolitan. She reads The Dirty with Dick Bitchy. She reads TMZ. She reads every gossip mainstream site. She watches Wendy Williams in the fucking morning. And that is where I heard about this story and never gave it much thought, nor did I give a fuck about it. But Mike South seems to be just posting about it and talking about it, which means he has nothing else to talk about. And he puts it on his site, and he has about 3 of his message board warriors that hide behind fake names sit there and write story after story about something that is so stupid. A girl in college that got outed because she was sucking dick for money, and she wrote a letter and said, I'm proud of sucking dick for money. Who gives a fuck? Tasha Rain goes to fucking college, assholes. And Paris Gables was in college. We can give you a list of every fucking stupid girl that goes to college, that takes a fucking community college course and is sucking dick every fucking girl goes to college. If you talk to any porn girl, the mantra to say is, I'm going and I'm taking classes. Yeah, okay, you're taking classes in what? In what, dummy? In what? Tasha Rain. Tasha Rain, how long has Tasha Rain been in the porn business? Has she been in college that long? Shouldn't she have a fucking degree already? Shouldn't you be using her fucking degree? No. Okay, thank you. Get them. Well, I had Paris Gables that worked for me. She was going to UC Santa Barbara, which happens to be the one college that has porn people talk at all the time. Okay, that's how important that college is. She was going to UC Santa Barbara for like 8 years, okay? You know what she's doing now? She's cooking in Vegas and teaching people Pilates. There you go. There's your college. Get the fuck out of here, you people. So stupid. Anyways, that is Mike South's story. So we detailed this in great detail last night about what this moron is actually wasting his fucking blog space with. So today he has a story about some girl sucking dick in college. Yesterday he lifted the article from Cosmopolitan and never fucking credited the writer of it. So that was yesterday's story. And then the day before that was a Rob Black story that was up for 2 days. And then the day before that was his disappearing Cal OSHA inspection records. But we haven't heard anything from that. Now, you would think that on February 22nd, which is 4 days ago, he was talking about this mass conspiracy and a stone wall. Now, it's been 4 days. You would think that he would have kept talking about basically being the Jim Garrison of porn and having been stonewalled into these evil angel inspection records. But no, he wastes 2 days about Rob Black and another 2 days about some girl in college. And guys, once again, is this the biggest phony fraud that is out in the industry right now, or is it just me? Seriously, is it just me, or can we possibly all agree that until I had my handcuffs lifted off and I was able to speak again, this faggot bitch, Mike South, has been unchecked for over a decade. And now that I am free to say whatever I want, he's got nothing to say. He's got nothing to say because I bitch slap him every minute I can because he's my dog. He's my bitch. So he is. He's my fucking dog boy. And that's what you are, Mike South. You're my dog boy. You faggot. You make a faggot look like a faggot. That's what you do. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That's your porn roundup today. And I'm just perplexed. You would think that on the 26th, instead of writing a second article about some twat in college fucking sucking dick, you would think he would talk about him being stonewalled. You remember he was going to start calling up the lawyers. He was going to start calling up a whole bunch of different people to investigate what is going on because it's a fucking stonewall. He ain't calling nobody up. He's talking about a twat sucking dick in college and stealing the story from somebody. Oh my God, it's amazing. It's just amazing. Well, there's your porn roundup. I got one. I got a story from Mike South he can do. Okay, I'm gonna throw him out a helpful hint because me, I don't really give a fuck. When they make press, I'll talk about it. But until then, I don't really give a fuck. But here's a story from Mike and his keyboard warriors. If any of you recall, Sunday of this month was supposed to be the first meeting held of the new adult performers group that Nina Hartley and Kimberly Kane and that whole crew, Chanel Preston, Jessica Drake, they were all supposed to have their big meeting. Did anybody attend the meeting? Did anybody go to the meeting? Does anybody know what happened at the meeting? Does anybody know anything that's going on with the adult performers group? James Dean's part of it. He does videos with his girlfriend Stoya. That fucking genius. Does anybody know what happened to that group? There's a story from Mike South, okay? I just gave him a story. I just gave him something. Why don't you go find out what happened with that meeting? Why don't you find out if the meeting was ever held? Now, on the Rob Black Show, we divulged that the address for that organization, where to send money to, goes to Kimberly Kane's house. It goes to her, or actually her studio. So the money goes to Kimberly Kane. Now, since then, we haven't heard anything about meetings, nothing. Now, I'm not an investigative journalist. Mike South is. You see, I entertain. I talk about farts. I talk about poop. And I spend about a half hour to 45 minutes about the porn business. Or if one of you disgusting, wretched motherfuckers get AIDS, we talk about that. Just like we did with John Scaliano and his lawsuit that's coming. Now, other than that, I don't give a fuck, okay? I don't give a fuck. I put the information out there, and it's up to you douchebags to do what you got to do with it. Now, considering that it said in the press release that the adult performer group, headed up by Miss Nina Hartley and Chanel Preston and Jessica Drake and all of these superstars, was to had their meeting. We never heard nothing about the meeting. Nobody covered the meeting. Nobody talked about the meeting. As a matter of fact, if you go to XBiz, nowhere on XBiz can you find any mentioning of the organization anymore. So if anybody could tell me what happened and what is going on, I'd be highly interested. The only videos I'm seeing on XBiz are codes of honor. I mean, it's pretty pathetic, but again, Mike South, I just gave you a tip, all right, retard? I just gave you a tip. Why don't you go why don't you go and investigate what is happening with the adult performers group and the fact that they were supposed to have their meeting on the first Sunday of the month, and that has come and passed. Why don't you find out what's going on, because we haven't heard a goddamn word. So there you go, Mikey South. Instead of spending the last 7 days on Scott Sparks and Rob Black and a Duke girl sucking dick, why don't you try to do some investigative reporting? Now, I don't know, would that, or is that a little bit too above your pay grade? I know you're a NASA scientist who left that job to go and live in a trailer and write a porn blog, but maybe you could go back to using that hillbilly brain of yours and actually talk about some like meaningful shit. Oh, you won't. Why? Because you're a fucking hillbilly. You're not a fucking NASA scientist. You're nothing but a bukkake specialist with fucking hillbilly girls, methed out teeth, cocaine habits, and guys that have old, rugged, stripper girlfriends. That is your life, Mike South. Well, congratulations, asshole. You are a fucking winner. Maybe tomorrow you can talk about some more girls that are in college sucking dick. Anyways, we're done. There's your porn roundup. Douche after douche after douche. It's the Rob Black Show. And we're done. I just got an email from my beautiful girlfriend, Katie Summers, who said, my phone is being fucking gay and it won't send out my texts to you. I'm on cam. I text you at 2 when I got on, and when I went to go text you again, the texts won't go through. I just restarted my phone. Maybe you will get my texts now. Laugh out loud. I don't know. I haven't gotten any texts from my girlfriend. I think she doesn't love me anymore, and she might be out hanging out with dudes. Nonetheless, she's on cam right now, and if you could go and watch her, that would help her out immensely, because she wants to get her lips done. She wants to get big, giant, fucking blowjob lips. That's what she wants. If that's what she wants, then that's what she'll get. I, myself, would like a network television deal. I don't think I'm going to have that. I think she's got a better shot of getting big, giant blowjob lips before I get a network TV deal. Nonetheless, it's the Rob Black Show, and we're going to sign off. We'll be back tonight at 8 p.m. For another exciting show where we will talk about farts, we'll talk about feces, We'll talk about gays. We'll talk about Jews. We'll talk about towelheads, Munyans, Guineas, Japs, Fatsos, hillbillies, cocaine, heroin, and Tom Byron. So, ladies and gentlemen, as always, we call it here closing time. And when it's closing time, that can only mean one thing and one thing only. And what that is, you ask? Rob Black Show. And we'll see you guys tonight at 8 p.m. Open all the doors and let you